down here with the Chatham Journal, and I'm at Havoc with Michael Pipkin, Pipkin. That's how I remember it. And we're inside. Look, it is. What is it? It is.
Yeah,
April 21st.
It's almost May.
It is almost May. What's happening with the grand opening?
So this is official. The grand opening is Saturday, April 29th, 11 a.m.
All right.
And we're going to be open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. So come on out. We'll have, at that point, 6 beers on tap, along with some local favorites, the Starlight Mead. We're going to have some cider from Chatham Cider Works on tap, as well as wine and sodas for those who don't drink. Kids and well-behaved dogs are always welcome.
How about the kids? Don't they have to be well-behaved as well?
I'll leave that up to the parents.
All right.
They tend to not bite.
Last time I was here, I think it was January 29th, but this place was a whole lot emptier, wasn't it?
We finally were able to. We got our furniture. We got our permits. We have beer brewing. So we're ready to finally bring Havoc to the public.
Yeah, Holly had mentioned, your marketing director, that you all last weekend were putting all this stuff together.
Yes. Restaurant furniture tends to come in parts, so we had to.
Now, she said you didn't buy it from IKEA.
No. We got it. This is good stuff. So we ended up getting it. Excuse me. So we got all the tops. Had to attach all the tops to the bottoms, and then lay it out the way we wanted it to. So this is kind of our dream. It feels for me. This feels like a dream come true. Seeing all this furniture in here, seeing it all kind of laid out. As you can see, I mean, we still need to finish up some things with the glasses and get boxes out of here, but we're getting ready. We have a week.
It looks like you have a lot of room on the inside. How many folks can you fit on the inside?
I believe our inside is about 300.
300.
Yep.
All right. And on your outside?
Outside, as many as can fit on the patio. We have a ton of space out there. I would estimate probably 200 or 300 more people could be on the outside.
Actually, you know, I'm going to sit
down,
have a
sit?
We'll be right. All right, I'm going to hop back in here with Michael.
Welcome back to one of my favorite seats in the house, by the way.
Is this your favorite seat in the house?
It is, because I can look out and see the entire circle from here, see all the people coming and going. This is the best spot for people watching in the whole city.
All right, you need to charge a premium. I feel like Oprah right now. Hey,
welcome to the couch.
Hey, everybody, you can have a beer. You can have a beer. Everybody can have a beer, but you have to come to have it.
That's right.
All right. So we were talking, you've got, how many folks can fit in here again?
It's about 300 people inside, give or take 300 people outside. It's an outdoor space, so it's a little bit different. We have, if you haven't seen the rocking chairs,
I love them. They're real colorful. If you're driving through the circle, you cannot miss them.
Yep.
Just who decided on the colors?
It's actually me. We had a lot of gray going on out there, and that fire pit is going to be so much fun in the fall and the winter. I wanted something where... I don't know if you've ever been through the Charlotte airport, but
yes,
the rocking chairs at the Charlotte airport are kind of iconic. And I had this idea that, sit and stay a while, sip a beer and rock back and forth, and let the world go by.
Talking about beers, I was in the back office there with you and Holly, and I think this will be. I don't think it's copyrighted yet, but I think you used the term Pittsboro. How would you spell that?
Pittsbero.
Okay, so Pittsboro.
Yeah.
It's Mike's. Don't type the ticket.
Well, I want to give it away. Part of our vision here is to. We want to be good neighbors, good corporate citizens, all that kind of stuff. But beer brewing is a guild, and we have other guild brothers and sisters here in town. So with Red Moose, with BMC, with Thirsty Skull, Carolina Brewery down the street, we want to collaborate, we want to work with them, and as I said before, we want to bring people to Pittsboro for beer. So people think of Asheville as the kind of the capital of beer in North Carolina. Certainly on the East Coast, they tend to think of themselves that way. I want to take over.
So you're going to prove them wrong.
I want Pittsboro to become the next Asheville,
or at least the center, the beer center here in Central Carolina, and then kind of split up. I was talking with Andy. He's your master. What's he?
He's our head brewer. Yeah.
Head brewer. You can also brew as well, don't you?
Yes. So I actually have a master's degree in brewing science. And
now, where do you get a master's degree in brewing science? Is that one of those things you just fill out online? Are you like a minister as well?
I was, yes. Yeah. So Auburn University has an excellent program in brewing science and operations. That's where I went to school. But App State has a really great fermentation sciences bachelor's degree program, and Wake Tech also has a brewing science program. So there's lots of opportunities. If people want to learn how to brew beer, come talk to me.
And just remember, he's part of the guild, so he doesn't mind the competition. I'm just going to make sure that we are recording correctly. Yes, we are. Good.
Yeah, I would actually love to teach more people how to brew beer.
Is that something you can probably incorporate into the offering here?
So we're going to work really closely with. There's a Triangle homebrewing club. We're going to work with them pretty closely. We're going to continue to develop the craft. As I said, I think in the interview we did back in January, homebrewing is the incubator for craft beer. And people bring all kinds of great ideas to the homebrew table, and we don't want to steal those ideas. We want to bring those ideas into other people's awareness. So beer education is part of what we're doing here, and helping people learn to be creative, learn to appreciate. And this is actually the collaboration between Andy and me. He is trained, loves the European styles, likes very clean and styled beers. I like to mess things up. So
wait. You're not gonna put blueberries in the beer, are you?
There might be, sure.
Oh man!
If it's delicious,
I've yet to try a good blueberry beer.
Then let's see if we can make one for you.
Oh no, please don't.
At the end of the day, beer is literally what you make it, and there's going to be a taste for everything. So we're going to offer beers that are traditional, and we're going to offer beers that push the envelope in terms of what people think of as delicious. I have in mind a habanero IPA.
A habanero IPA?
Yeah, we're going to be serving, we have a Mexican lager that we're going to serve with a rimmed glass, and it's Tajin. I don't know if you ever had Tajin.
No, I haven't.
It's a Mexican spice that's a little salty and a little spicy. So we're serving a Mexican lager with a little bit of Mexican spice on the side.
Oh, is this going to be like for Cinco de Mayo, or is this?
It's coming up.
It's coming
come
up.
on out. Yeah.
What would a habanero beer taste like?
Delicious.
Have you had one?
Oh yeah, I've had some, and given the Carolina Reaper, I may move away from habanero and go towards. It's not spicy. There you get a little bit of that because when you make beer, you incorporate hop oil into the beer, and actually incorporating a little bit of pepper oil in is not hard to do with the raw peppers. So it provides a little bit of bitterness and a little spice on the back. It's really delightful. It doesn't burn. It's just delicious.
Now, when you say, I mean, pepper oil, I think a lot of people know what that is. But when you say hop oil, what exactly is that?
So one of the main ingredients of beer is hops, and
Yes.
hops exist in beer to preserve it and to help make sure that it's got a longer shelf life, because beer is just sugar water at the end of the day, and everything likes to eat sugar water, bacteria, fungus, all that kind of stuff. So centuries, millennia ago, we learned to add hops or juniper or other things to beer so that it would help preserve it and keep those things away. It just happens to be that it's really delicious. So the main part of hops is the acid and the oil that comes out of the leaf, and so we make use of that for flavor, for aroma, and for preservation.
You don't let a lot of stuff go to waste here, do you?
I don't waste anything. I'm actually really proud. We reclaim a lot of water. We exchange heat, so we're not sending a lot of hot water down the drain. We reclaim a lot of our hot water and we use that energy. And all of our spent grain goes to a local farmer that he feeds to his cows. So
we don't have drunk cows walking around in the field.
it's not fermented yet. It comes straight out of our brewing system. He picks it up within a half hour or 45 minutes of us finishing with it, and he feeds it to his cows the same day. And those are some happy cows.
I was going to say, is that something cows are like, oh my gosh, it's like a treat?
It is delicious. We take all the sugar out of it, and what's left over is protein and fiber, which is excellent cow feed.
So is it like catnip for cows?
I don't know.
No. We'll have to check out with the farmer and see when he feeds. You know what? That might make for a good video down the road. We'll go down there and check how those hops go with the cows. See if they all show up. When I was talking to actually, how did you and Andy hook up or meet, or how did you join forces?
We served together in the Navy.
Okay. Wait, were you a Marine?
No, I was also a sailor. So
okay.
He and I worked together, and when the workday was done, we worked at Bethesda Naval Hospital up in Maryland, and right there in the D.C. area. The day would end, we would be tired and thirsty, and we'd head out for beer. I didn't know anything about beer at the time.
Now he started learning in Britain 30 years ago. Where did you make your first batch?
I made my first batch with Andy.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. After we went through our time in Bethesda together, he would teach me about beer. I had my beer of choice was Shiner Bock out of Texas, or something nice and malty and delicious. I had no idea about hops. I didn't know. I couldn't pull the ingredients, and taste it and tell you what was in that. And so he would take me places like there was a place in DC called the Brick Skeller. They had literally like a Bible-sized thing of beers, and you could choose.
Wait a minute, you're talking the Old Testament and New Testament.
Oh, it was huge. This giant book of beers.
Bible-sized.
So he would share beer, tell me what this is what you might taste in this, and so he started my beer education then. Some years later, we were both out of the Navy. I lived in Charlotte, and he was living in Hickory at the time. I was at his house visiting, having a great time. He serves me a beer. I said, "Man, this is delicious." And he's like, "Yeah, I made it in my garage." And I said, "Bullshit, you did. There's no way that you made this in your garage." He takes me outside. He shows me his beer setup, and I'm like, "This is so cool. You got to show me how to do this."
You guys both have very, very good wives, I assume, if they let you set up beer. Hey, let's set up a brewery in the garage. Yes, honey, go ahead.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, that's absolutely. Molly's patience for my beer brewing habit was what led to this, to be honest with you. So, had no idea that this is where we would be, but it was probably 12 years ago when he brewed the first batch with me and showed me how to do it. And I went home and bought a homebrew kit and started messing up like crazy on my own.
Have you ever made a better batch than he has?
Never.
Never. So he's still, that's why he's the head brewer.
Yeah, he is a master. The beers, currently, right now, he's living in a townhouse just about a half mile from here, and relatively small kitchen, but he brews 2.5-gallon batches in his kitchen. And what he pulls out of his kitchen is just delightful.
See, that's
It's
something you
delicious.
carry. And Andy's Kitchen Brew right there. There's a marketing.
It's gorgeous. Well, he's testing stuff for us too. So he just a couple weeks ago brought in a wheat beer that we plan to make full production size on our next go round.
When I was talking to Andy, and one of the reasons we're doing this today on the 21st of March is because I got some drone footage of your place and put it up on our Chatham Journal Facebook page,
Sure.
and it was like the second most popular post that we've done this month. The Northwood Cross Country beat you guys out, but it's kind of
Coming for you, Northwood.
yeah, there you go. It's coming for you. But folks in this town and in this county are excited about letting and making successful. I mean, the mod's been successful. You guys are starting up. We're going to talk about opening date. Also, the new pub that's going to be coming in the road. So you may land up, and I mentioned this to Andy, you may land up with people coming in here who are not really beer drinkers, have never had a beer.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he recommended the pale ale as if you've never had a beer before or not a beer drinker to start off with that. Because you're going to have everything from that to double IPAs and then all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Are you going to also offer what is it called, a flight or a sampler where people can try your different
That's right. So we'll have a 4-beer flight. Folks can try 4 at a time, 2 or 3 ounce pours on each of those, and figure out what they like. We'll even recommend a kind of an order to drink it in, so that, I mean, really, if you start with a dark stout and kind of work your way backwards, everything's going to taste like dark stout after that. So there's kind of a way to do that so that you can get an appreciation for it. But one of the things we're training all of our servers is to ask the question. If somebody comes in and says, I don't really know much about beer, we can ask questions to kind of help hone where we want to be. If you're the kind of person who likes adventurous foods, if you're going to go for Indian or sushi or various things like that, I can find a beer for you. But if you come in here and you tell me, look, I don't know much about beer, but my favorite beer is Miller Lite, I have something for you.
right?
So part of what we're trying to do is not convert people to be crazy IPA hop heads or anything like that. We want to find a beer you like.
Hophead.
Hophead. Yeah.
Hophead.
Hophead is kind of what some folks call, if you like the really hoppy IPA stuff and you want to just blow your palate away with lots of crazy flavors and citrus and stuff like that, some people might call you a hophead. But you don't have to be that. Frankly, the large scale macro brew beer like Bud, Coors, Miller, all those, that's perfectly fine. Come on in. We'll find something made in the same style, but a whole lot more flavor and a whole lot more delicious.
It sounds like this process isn't just a drinking and you can go and bring food in, but it sounds like you're also in the process of educating folks and getting them beyond the standard multi-million dollars, everything tastes the same type of brews.
Sure. If that's what they want, we're here for that. If what you want to do is come in and have a beer, come in and have a beer. We're not going to come sit down next to you and go, hey, what you're
So
tasting
no beer
right
shame.
now.
No beer. No beer shame.
No. In fact, somebody came in. We were brewing a couple weeks ago, and it was getting late in the evening. It was just one of our long day brew sessions. We had the back door rolled up, and someone from the mod came around the back. Wanted to say hi. He was carrying a Corona in his hand, and we gave him hell for it. But fact is,
Are you gonna have limes here?
we will probably have beer with fruit sometimes, like a lime you can squeeze in. Not on our first batch, though. None of these first runs have that.
Yeah, folks, we did a 15-minute interview with the head brewer, Andy. You need to take a look at that, get an idea. He's got this figured out to science, and actually most of the science is up here in his head. And you guys kind of, I guess it was faith that kind of brought you together, where you started out. He started out in England. You met up in Maryland, Baltimore, and then you're here in Pittsboro. And we were talking about this. I don't know if we talked about this yet on this video, but what is the term that you coined that we're gonna I think is a good hashtag to even use?
Hashtag Pittsboro.
Pittsboro. And what's that spelling again?
Pittsbero.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Pittsboro.
That's right. Yeah.
But your setup here, 300 inside. I think we ran into each other outside during the wintertime when they had the Oktoberfest, and you had that fire going, and that is one nice type of setup you have.
We can't even turn it all the way on because it's such a huge fire. So yeah, it puts out some great heat. It's going to be lovely, especially as we get around to the fall and we have our own Oktoberfest celebration here, hanging out by that fire pit, holding on to a really lovely Marzen or something like that. It's going to be a great day.
Shoot, you may have to set up when the Pittsboro has their Christmas parade. You may have to set up some stands and have a viewing area here for folks.
I think we can work that out.
I think it's a good idea. Glad I came up with it. No, I didn't come up with it. That was Greg. That was Greg's idea, because Greg and Paul are the folks behind SoCo, and Michael and I have talked about how this is once everything's up and running, the three stores, the mod, you guys, and the Irish pub.
Yeah.
This will be the place to go to in Pittsboro for entertainment. Are you all having bands outside as well? Is that one of the plans?
Yep. So we have a schedule for entertainment for bands and music. We're also going to do karaoke.
Wait a minute, karaoke?
We're going to do karaoke. We're going to do trivia.
Are you going to do karaoke inside or outside?
Probably inside.
Because I was going to say, if you do karaoke outside, you know what's going to happen is the people that stop at that stop sign, if you're not very good at karaoke, they're going to start yelling at those people.
Let me tell you what, I have spent a lot of time on this corner, and the kind of music I hear come and go cannot be a lot worse than the karaoke we might put out there. So.
Well, good. Now you learned something new. They're good. Michael's are you going to be the first karaoke person?
I'll do Total Eclipse of the Heart for everybody.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Oh my gosh. I will definitely have to come for that. Anything like trivia night or anything like that?
Yep, we have a plan for trivia night as well. David, our taproom manager, has a whole schedule for what we're doing in terms of indoor and outdoor entertainment. So the nice thing is that in addition to all that, we'll always have something on the TVs. If you just want to sit and zone out and watch something, or sit and talk with friends while you watch a game, that's always an option. But we do have the ability to kind of separate some things and create different zones of entertainment. So if we do have the karaoke or the trivia happening here on the short side, there's something different on the long side.
All right, so someone's not going to say, oh my gosh, it's karaoke night at the Havoc, I don't want to go, because that's going to be separate.
Listen, if they want to come on karaoke night and be on the other side and sort of kibitz about all the ways in which the karaoke sucks, that's fine. I'll be the first to sing. It'll be a great night.
You're going to have like back what they did in the ball fields back in the 80s, the disco sucks nights. No, they're not. All right, you mentioned your manager's got this whole big plan, but before we get to the plan, let's talk about grand opening. What's coming up? You guys were supposed to originally, open up, I think we talked on January 29th, you were planning to open up on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, man.
That hasn't happened. Why don't you tell folks why that didn't happen?
So hope springs eternal. With opening a brewery, like any small business, there are a lot of regulatory hurdles. We had all of our stuff. Supply chain issues weren't a thing. We had all of our equipment. We were having it all installed for the brew side. We had tables and chairs ordered. It was all coming. Life was great. What we didn't have were permission from the state and federal government to actually make and sell beer. So that's what took the longest. State permits were super easy. We were able to get those in a same-day process, so no issue there. But what held us up was federal permitting. So over the last several years, there's been a lot of reorganization with what they call the Tax and Trade Bureau. They're the folks that issue the permits that allow us to make and sell beer from a federal perspective. We didn't get those permits until early April. So here we are, it's now April 21st. We have been busting our tails to make beer and get this place open and ready as fast as we could after we got those permits, because we could not make a single drop of alcohol until we had those permits.
Yeah, or you get busted. I mean, it's against the law.
It would have been against the law. And guess what? They don't give permits to people who break the law.
That's right.
So we had to toe the line. So we waited patiently sometimes, and finally we got here. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Holly, the marketing director, she's got the promo stuff. It's wearing the Havoc. There's a promo going on that right now. So you are planning to have a grand opening. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the grand opening, Saturday, April 29th, 11 a.m. We're going to open these doors to the public, and they're going to be open, except for holidays, every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. So come on out, bring your friends, bring your kids, bring your dogs. Let's have a party.
All right.
It's going to be fantastic.
Anything else, folks in Pittsboro, Chatham County, you need to know?
I'll tell you what, one last thing I want to mention, touched on it really briefly earlier, but I am always looking to teach people about beer and teach people how to brew. If there's anybody out there who wants to learn how to brew on a professional level, let's talk. I'd be happy to talk about internships. I'd be happy to talk about ways that you can participate and help out here. Or if we want to start a homebrew club just for Pittsboro, let's do that here. I'm all for it.
All right, so there's an opportunity. Michael and Andy want to bring you into it, because then they could play around and make their own stuff.
They can make their own stuff. There is always future possibility for job opportunities here at Havoc or at other breweries here in town.
Speaking of job opportunities, I've noticed that you've put out a notice. Do you still need folks? Are you still looking for good folks to come work here?
We are still taking applications for servers and for what we call barbacks, people to pick up and clean. So we can actually hire as young as 16 for people who want to.
They just can't serve.
They can't serve alcohol,
Right.
but they can work here in some capacity. So if you know folks who are going to be around for the summer, people who are maybe coming to go to excuse me.
He's really choked up.
I am. It's a big deal. Folks coming for the summer, folks maybe as the fall approaches who are coming to school at Chapel Hill or other places, we're certainly happy to talk about ways that they can be a part of it.
Number they can call, email address, website, Facebook page.
So jobs@havocbrewing.com.
Okay, jobs at Havoc, HAVOC, Brewing. If you don't know how to spell brewing, maybe you shouldn't be applying for the job. .com.
Yep. That's it.
So it sounds like you're all set.
Can't wait.
And folks, next Saturday from 11 o'clock, grand opening. Are you doing any kind of ribbon cutting ceremony or anything?
No.
No, you're just serving up beer.
We're going to do a beer pouring ceremony or something.
pouring,
We'll do a thing, but looking very much forward to having folks come out.
All right, Michael, thank you very much, folks. This is more information. They are finally opening. You got all the paperwork, which was actually the last hurdle.
That's the last hurdle.
They've put together the furniture. It looks pretty solid. I've sat in some of the chairs. Nothing's happened, and I'm not a lightweight kind of guy, so you will be safe. Come on out, enjoy it. Next Saturday, be here, or as the kids used to say, or be square.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.